Bill's got to run here on the outside.
The old side-by-side with the banking. Earnhardt trying to hold off. Awesome Bill. And Bill looks like he'll get a little bit of a drafting push, maybe from Earnhardt Jr. As you watch this side-by-side action, let's check in with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Jerry, part of the reason we're seeing a lot of passing here is there's a lot of cars with different rear-end gear ratios because they weren't sure what this plate was going to do. We've got a variable all the way from about a 294 up to a 315 rear gear. Now, what that does is it's going to change how fast you can come down pit road. Depending on what gear you're in, which most guys come down pit road in second gear, your variable will be about 3,500 to 3,700. But Robert Yates just got on the radio and told Dale Jarrett, why don't you try using first gear coming down pit road? It'll help get you here a lot quicker. He's got to keep his track at about 5,300 RPMs. So the rear end gear is certainly a big issue here, and a lot of cars trying different strategies.
That's certainly something to consider as the day goes on, particularly when you talk about fuel mileage and guys who may be moving in on some pit stops. If you watch Bill Elliott, who became our 7th different leader today, giving us our 11th different lead changes. What about pit strategy, Ned?
Well, they're coming around to complete their 43rd lap. And in the past several years, they could run about 50 to 55 laps on a tank of fuel. I don't believe that they can run that long now with the bigger restrictor plate and also with those things up on the roof and the taller spoilers. That's going to pull a little bit more fuel through the car. So I'm thinking that they're going to maybe 50th outside.
And Benny, back in the spring, they ran Dale Jarrett out of gas. He was a contender and ran out of fuel, ended up losing a lap, and that cost him a very, very good possible top 10 victory to win.
So you have to be sure that you don't run out of fuel, because if you do it at the start-finish line, the time you coast around, you're going to lose a tremendous amount of distance. We talk about Jeff Burton back in 40th position. He's 4 seconds behind the leader, just 4 seconds behind the leader, and he's in touch with the pack. But if you lose 4 seconds, if you lose 1 second during a pit stop, that's about 300 yards on the racetrack. You may never get called back up.
That outside lane, the M&M's Pontiac, and Kenny Schrader, who got his very first win at this racetrack back in July of 1988. Schrader having a good run in the car number 36. Behind him is Kenny Wallace, still looking for his first Winston Cup win. Very strong car out of the Andy Petrie stable.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Bud car.
All right, we're listening to crew chiefs. They're talking to drivers. We're talking about pit strategy. We'll come back in just a moment and cover the first round of pit stops at Talladega in a moment.
Pit on 49, and that's 4 laps from now, so you need to try to get Jerry on the bottom by lap 49.
That was Tony Furr, right? Okay. That sounded like Tony Furr talking to Nadeau. But then again, okay. Oh, I got you.
Who's that off the pace? Is that Junior? No, or is that 60 car that was slow on the back? Turn 2. Craven maybe. 50.
Talladega, Alabama, Talladega Superspeedway. 45-year-old Bill Elliott leading the way. And pit stops are beginning. Here comes Rusty Wallace down pit road toward Robin Pemberton and company.
Well, Rusty Wallace makes the long trip down pit road. The engine is running, so they're not out of fuel, but you would have to believe that perhaps the light flashed, and Rusty on pit road basically all by himself. The 50 came with him. It's a 4-tire stop. Clean the windshield. Around to the left side. Fuel still going in. The field still on the backstretch. Watching for Craven to come down pit road. His car's still on pit road. Rusty will go off by himself. He will be all by himself. Very lonely on this 2.66-mile track.
Now, other drivers are coming into the pits this time around as Ricky Craven goes out. Others are coming in. Rusty got out in front of the lead pack, but they'll catch him on the backstretch. Takes a long time to get these cars up to speed.
Here's Jeff Gordon down pit road. There's the car number 4, Bobby Hamilton there. Kenny Wallace is there. There's the tied car of Scott Pruitt. Johnny Benson is on pit road. Ted Musgrave in the Bell South car, the 01. Let's go down to Gordon's pit and watch this action here. Those guys got to try to get 4 tires on. Bill Weber.
It is a 4-tire stop. Gordon had to tiptoe into his pit stall. The car is just a little bit loose. Make a Panhard bar adjustment. Send him around to the left side. Put on 2 more tires on the left side. Then send Gordon back out. Car was just a little bit hot. Did not remove any tape that I saw. He heads out back to the race.
And a lot more drivers coming at you, Bill. A lot of the front runners are heading down pit road this time. About half of the field.
As they come down from lap 49, Bill Elliott will lead them down as most of the leaders now are on pit road. Kevin Graham and Dan Ford ready to service. Awesome Bill Elliott. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap.
88 and 28 are in here, Jerry. As the 88 said, we don't need any chassis adjustment at all, but guys, make sure that grill gets clean and pull 1 inch of tape off. Now to John Kernan.
Point leader Bobby Labonte is in a 4-tire change. They are not making any chassis adjustments. Bill Weber.
It's 4 tires for Earnhardt. Left's going on. You see triple pits. Earnhardt's on his way. Dale Jr. behind him. The 43 was all here. And the race off pit road is underway.
And Bill Elliott is the first one of this group to exit pit road, although he did not have to quickly stop because of where he was pitting at the far end. He was able to beat. And now Earnhardt is being shipped in front of Elliott. And as they come up onto the racing surface, remember, these were green flag pit stops.
And they were told in the driver's meeting, Jerry, to keep those left wheels down on that yellow line until you get over to turn 2.
Let's go to John Kernan.
Matt Kenseth, one of the Roushketeers who was hanging back toward the back of the pack, is in for his pit stop, a 4-tire change. They also made a chassis adjustment on the left rear to Bill Weber.
And as we talked about this part of the plan, they wanted to make sure pit road was clear. They were able to stay out another lap. Apparently a fuel mileage attempt here by the Roush guys. It's 4 tires for Burton working on the left side. They cleaned the grill. He's got fuel, and now he will be held. Jeff Burton is being held by the official. This would have to be, I would imagine, too fast down pit road. Being held for 15 seconds. This will be very costly. Burton is on his way. Will check.
All 4 Roush cars, or 4 Roush cars, I should say, pitting on that lap. The 17, the 99, the 97, and the 21 of Elliott Sadler has a Roush engine.
Well, that will be devastating to Jeff Burton. Here comes Mark Martin into the pits. He stayed out and led a lap. Bill?
Now Mark Martin on pit road, and he's a very lonely figure. A track bar adjustment on the rear. Now they come around to the left side. Again, 4 tires for all these cars. Fuel going in. Mark, no complaints about the car. Working on the left-hand side. Fuel going in. Now having some trouble with the left front. They could not seat the left front tire on. Finally got it on the studs. Tighten the lug nuts. Mark's on his way.
Also, Michael Waltrip exiting pit road, and Stacy Compton. Those 3 cars pitting on lap 51. They're keeping a pit chart at home. And we have been, and I perish to say this, we have been caution-free thus far for the first 51 laps as they flash by that time. Green flag pit stops have been in order of the day. The first round of pit stops between laps 47 and 51.
That was pretty good strategy on some of those guys to stop. And the 7 car all of a sudden was leading the race as you run out of fuel in there.